Right now we have the entrenched energy monopolies and cartels. You know, we have OPEC and we have the 7 sister oil companies that control all the oil and energy. But what people have to understand is that the people who run the energy business in this world, which is the biggest business on the planet, turning over $4 to $5 trillion a year, it's bigger than guns and drugs, it's bigger than defense. They control the newspapers, they control the governments. But these companies are so big that they regulate the government, which regulates them.
It's not free. Nothing is free. But cheap and efficient energy exchange is a viable concept.
Now I say that everything in this universe is free energy. It's been dreamed of for hundreds of years that somewhere, someplace, as Tesla said, man will hook his machinery to the very wheelwork which drives the universe itself.
The history of science is the history of the suppression of great inventions. A few classic stories. Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla is regarded as the founding father of free energy. His astounding developments in the generation of alternating electrical current are still being used today. His most notorious project involved the transmission of wireless electricity into the atmosphere, which allowed for unlimited power to be freely accessed by everyone. When his financial backer, J.P. Morgan, realized that this power system could not be metered, all funding was immediately withdrawn. Tesla's electrical broadcast towers were dismantled, and through Morgan's many close connections with the media and government, Tesla's career was destroyed. In 1977, Bruce De Palma unveiled the first prototype of the N machine, an electrical generator which uses rotating magnets to generate up to 5 times more power than it takes to drive it.
I know about the fact that the Japanese government and the Indian government have ongoing projects to produce N machines for domestic power. My partner is Paramahamsa Tiwari, who is the director of the Nuclear Power Corporation of India, which operates all the nuclear plants in India.
In late 70s, I learned from Bruce De Palma that he had carried out certain crucial experiments by rotating electromagnets.
Tiwari tested a prototype based on De Palma's N machine under laboratory conditions. The results were deemed too impressive, causing disbelief and suspicion among conservative government officials and the power consortiums that backed the project. Tiwari was forced to abandon the project completely.
It's a major breakthrough that will no doubt make motorists happy, and as Ralph Robinson explains, the Pentagon is also showing lots of interest in this project.
U.S. inventor Stan Myers released his water-powered car engine in 1988.
The Pentagon flew a lieutenant colonel in last week to look at Myers' invention. There's talk of possibly using it in the Star Wars defense program and to run Army tanks.
Myers found it virtually impossible to secure financial backing after certain Pentagon officials paid him a visit. A number of similar inventions were developed and tested all around the world.
My best friend was killed over this matter. There's a chap here, about 10 minutes away from here, driving. He has been running his car on water since 1986 with the government's permission, provided that he keeps his mouth shut. And with regular intervals, using his own words, they keep warning him to keep his mouth shut. One of our colleagues who have been running car on the water for the 10-year period now, he reckons that it's 26 times more powerful than petrol.
If you invent a better mousetrap, the world may beat a path to your door. If you invent a free energy machine, there'll be a path beat to your door, but you don't want those people there.
One of the pivotal people that I encountered early in my career was Edgar Mitchell, the astronaut.
Liftoff. Liftoff.
Edgar J. Mitchell, an Apollo mission astronaut, founded the Noetics Institute in Southern California. The Institute's charter was supposedly to develop alternative energy systems by attracting inventors from all over the country. Mitchell became extremely interested in De Palma's N machine. He made De Palma a paltry offer to buy out the invention, which De Palma naturally refused.
He said to me that if I ever tried anything on my own in California, I would get my head blown off. So I was scared to death. The CIA operates through various very innocent-looking fronts to find out what people are thinking and what they're inventing. Now, what's more innocent than a benign institute founded on transcendental principles to help New Age inventors bring free energy into the world?
And that situation still exists in the United States today, where a person that really understands what's going on just can't get their idea out because the alternative science and medical fields have been co-opted by the intelligence services.
And he converted this little engine to run on water. This is many, many years ago. And he used it for several years. And somehow the news got out, and one day he got visitors, and he was told to dump the engine or else. 3 weeks later, the man was dead. And the coroner's finding was that he fell off the back of a train. He was drunk. Now, it happened that he didn't drink.
Even Dr. Townsend T. Brown, the electrogravitic research scientist, has on his 16-millimeter film of his lab tests, which we've got here, he has guys with the black suits and black hats come into the place. You can see where the legends come from. I mean, these guys come in and they look like, you know, Bad Bart to Black Man. I mean, it's classic, and these things do happen.
There is no progressive science in a world where every scientific idea is evaluated for its military potential.
Power, or energy, control of energy equals power in the new world order that is emerging. If you control the energy, the way we get around, the way we get electricity, the way we have our TVs and video cameras and stuff, if you do the control of the energy, then you've got control of the people.
President Obama has closed Guantanamo Bay, started talks with our military generals about how to withdraw forces from Iraq, and dedicated his first 100 days in office to declassifying government files on anti-gravity and alternative energy technologies. Yes, you heard me correctly. Obama's National Security Advisor, retired U.S. Marine Corps General James L. Jones, Jr., has declassified government files on the Biefeld-Brown effect, which was patented by physicists Thomas Townsend Brown and Paul Alfred Biefeld in 1928. In 1992, it was revealed that the B-2 bomber employed sufficiently high voltages to significantly reduce its weight. And, of course, we've all seen the lifter videos on YouTube and on Mythbusters, which proved that the effect does not work inside a vacuum. The fact that they are just now releasing 80-year-old technologies, which have been floating around the internet for 10 years now with proven scientific demonstrations, should really make you wonder what else they're hiding. After retiring from the Marine Corps on February 1st, 2007, General Jones served on the board of directors for the Boeing Corporation from June 21st, 2007 to December 15th, 2008. Boeing has been active in studies to apply anti-gravity technologies for commercial use since the early 1990s. In 2002, Boeing began an internal project called Gravity Research for Advanced Space Propulsion, or GRASP. According to a 2008 book by Dr. Paul LaViolette titled Secrets of Anti-Gravity Propulsion, Boeing completed a separate classified study for the U.S. military on electrogravitic propulsion sometime before October 2007. Boeing was rebuffed in its efforts to have such technology declassified and released to the public sector. However, as a board member and member of Boeing's finance committee at the time of the 2007 classified study, Jones was privy to Boeing's efforts in anti-gravity research and development. He has done the right thing by declassifying this technology and the research to the American public, but it must not stop here. The U.S. Senate confirmed retired Admiral Dennis Blair will formally begin his new position as Director of National Intelligence. Dennis Blair finished a 34-year naval career as Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Command, the highest-ranking officer over all of the U.S. forces in the Asia-Pacific region from 1992 to 2002. Headquartered in Honolulu, Hawaii, the U.S. Pacific Command is the oldest and largest of the 10 unified combatant commands. Blair's position gave him need-to-know access to the X-files of the U.S. Navy. This makes it possible for him to attempt to coordinate intelligence data from the X-files of all the intelligence communities dealing with UFOs and extraterrestrial visitation. The existence of the U.S. Navy's X-files was first revealed by naval intelligence whistleblower William Cooper, who served as part of the intelligence briefing team from 1970 to 1973 under Admiral Bernard Clary, Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet at the time. Cooper's job was to brief Admiral Clary about the latest naval intelligence and national security issues. During his final years of service with U.S. Naval Intelligence, Cooper had top-secret and Q-level security clearances, including need-to-know access to the Navy's X-files. He witnessed numerous documents dealing with UFOs and extraterrestrial life, some of which are included in his book, Behold a Pale Horse. To support his claims, Cooper was willing to produce the names of approximately 38 U.S. Navy officers and enlisted men who witnessed these events and documents while in public service of their country. Cooper's claims were never investigated in any public inquiry. Given the current situation, Admiral Blair can work with Obama's incoming CIA director, Leon Panetta, to gain access to the CIA's X-files as well as the X-files of other intelligence agencies. Blair could potentially assist with the knowledge he acquired when he served as the first Associate Director of Central Intelligence for Military Support in the 1990s, and begin coordinating intelligence data on UFOs and extraterrestrials from the X-files of the CIA and other intelligence agencies. Blair has the unique experience and authority to brief President Obama about X-files hidden among various branches of the U.S. intelligence community and even NASA, who still hasn't complied with a Freedom of Information Act request regarding the 1968 UFO crash incident in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Given the current situation, for the first time in history, a president will have potential access to the real X-files. If President Obama does receive X-file briefings from Blair, Obama will have the opportunity to disclose information about UFOs and extraterrestrial life to the general public. This could potentially be the most significant and important date in human history. I am quite confident that the American people can handle the truth, and it is now up to us, and that means you sitting there right now watching this, you and us, and I'm going to do it too. We all need to write letters to President Barack Obama. Tell the White House and the administration that you want the truth.